Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakkamalam Shri Guru Maheshwaram Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Om Jnana Timiram Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Shri Gaura Priyamurtaya Srimate Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Shri Chaitanya Mano Krishna Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadam Vande Nanda Vrajastrinam Padare Numatiksham Yasam Harikato Gita Punate Bhuvantaya Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurati He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamati Vindayai Tulasevayai Vidyayai Krishna Krishna Bhakti Kalvi Satyavatai
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Sachinandan want to join in.
Yes.
Hey Prabhu, there are few people in the queue. You please let them in. They're saying that the host has to let us in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now should be okay.
Host is no, Prabhu. Nada Prabhu. I'm not the host.
Okay. Okay, good. Now they should be in.
Yeah.
Huh? Wonderful.
Yeah, they joined.
Okay, great. Yes, welcome dear devotees. So today we'll talk about Bhagavata-bhakti in comparison to Vraja-bhakti. And last time we heard about Gora Lila in Vrindavan because it was Adhivas Titi, the day before Gaur Purnima. So I hope you all had a wonderful Gaur Purnima celebrations. I was here in Vrindavan and in Radha-kund. It's wonderful. And it's of course beautiful that we had this talk so we could remember the reasons of appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially in relation to Vraja-bhakti, because he came to teach us Vraja-bhakti. And so it is a wonderful pastime of the Lord that he taught us this process. Also, we hear the many pastimes of the Lord, and we hear from our predecessors what is the speciality of these pastimes, what is the speciality of Vraja-bhakti. And it's always very important to know what makes something special. So, for example, if you are staying somewhere in India, and say you're staying in Gujarat, and someone visits you, and they ask you, what is the specialty here in Gujarat? Then you have to say, what is the specialty? Because you have to please your guest. So as a host, you have to know what is the specialty. So you will say, okay, we start sweet, we end sweet, and in the middle also there is sweet when you have some prasadam in Gujarat. Even in dal they put sugar, and even in puri they put sugar. So like one time one god sister from Gujarat in Kolkata when I was serving Guru Maharaj. She brought prasadam in tiffin and she distributed to me with a lot of love. And everything was sweet from A to Z. So that is the speciality of Gujarat, Gujarati prasadam. If you know Gujarati prasadam, you can compare to that. So like that, you have to know what is the speciality in each and every place, so you can please the visitors, please those who are capable of relishing that, connoisseurs of rasa, relishment. So here in Vraja-bhakti, there's a special rasa, special taste of these Vraja pastimes with regards to that, in connection with that very particular sevas, seva bhavas. So that is a very, very wonderful topic that we'll discuss today. We go go to the beginning of bhakti, and we have a look at a very general approach. So first of all, bhakti starts when you become very personal with the Lord, right? That's why we are personalists in comparison to the impersonalists who believe in a personal deity, personal God who is eternally existent and we eternally worship. So that is, in comparison to those who are monists, who are impersonalists. So that's a huge category that we are set apart from, that we have to understand that we are on this path. We're not one with the absolute. We are eternally two. And ultimately, of course, simultaneously one and get different. But in the beginning, it's very important to understand the difference. And that's why in the beginning, especially, we worship the Supreme in awe and reverence. And so generally, when we speak of Bhagavata-bhakti or worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we speak of awe and reverence. Now, most world religions, they fall under this category of Aishwaryamaya Bhakti, worshiping the Supreme in awe and reverence, because always you're conscious that your object of worship is Bhagavan, is the Supreme Lord, and you always are very prayerful and fearful. And oftentimes the meditation or the motivation of your sadhana is having some kind of fear in it. If I don't do this, I go to hell, I have to pay this, I have to get this reaction. So your bhakti is always a little bit laden with duty-bound spirit. That is very natural, there's nothing bad about that, but we have to understand what is the difference to Vraja-bhakti, because this is a very, very crucial point. And so here we are in Sevakund, in Vrindavan. And for all of you who have been here, if you just cross the Yamuna here and you reach Belvan, the next forest is called Belvan on the other side of the Yamuna, there is temple of Lakshmi Devi. So Lakshmi is there, and she is still there today doing tapasya, because she was trying to enter into Ras Leela, but she didn't get entry. So still today she is doing tapasya to be able to enter into Ras Leela. But why is that so? She is the absolute counterpart of Narayan. Yeah? So she has all the opulences. Yeah? We say, Sarva Lakshmi, like if someone has all the potencies of the Lord, Sarva Lakshmi, full of all the Lakshmi potencies. Yeah? So she is that very potency personified, but she even cannot enter into the deeper core of Vrindavan, because she is in this mood of Aishwarya. Yeah? She is worshipping the Lord as Narayan, as Bhagavan. That's why she is practicing Bhagavata-bhakti, but not Vraja-bhakti. That is the very crucial difference. So Vraja-bhakti is also Bhagavata-bhakti, but a very special type of Bhagavata. And this today we want to have a look at different examples to become very clear in this understanding so that we can relish the speciality of Vraja-bhakti as we encounter it. And so when we are not encountering it for a long time, we can miss it, because as you miss your home when you are far away from your home for a long time. So similarly, if you don't hear Vraja Leela, Vraja Kahani about Vraja Prem, Vraja Bhakti, then you should feel that you're missing something and you want to go back home to hearing those pastimes. So similarly, the purpose of us discussing these different pastimes is so that we are able to miss Vrindavan more and know what is the speciality of Vrindavan. So Lakshmi Devi, she has all the opulences, but in Vrindavan, these opulences, they become a hindrance, because here in Vrindavan, Krishna is not Bhagavan in the first sense. He is Bhagavan, but he is Adi Purusham, the supreme original enjoyer, and in that form, he's just a Gopal, a cowherd boy, and he is relishing intimate pastimes with his intimate friends, devotees of all types, of all the main four rasas. So in this form, he does not wear a heavy crown like Narayan, yeah? But he wears a beautiful turban, pagadi, and his hair is allowed to flow freely. It's decorated with forest flowers. So he's called Vanamali. Yeah, he's always wearing a beautiful forest flower garland made from his friends and girlfriends with so much love. And that is the real opulence. All the opulences of Vaikuntha, they cannot compare to the sweetness of Vrindavan, which is the real opulence. And so Lakshmi, she has that mood of reverence. And with that mood, we are actually barred from entering Vrindavan. So she's barred, and that pastime is also there in Ratha Yatra, of course, when we know how Lakshmi Devi becomes upset when Krishna is sneaking away to go to Vrindavan, which is the Gundicha Mandir, of course. So then she punishes Lord Jagannath and beats him. Like there's a different pastimes where she wants to make sure that he comes back. And so all these different moods, they actually clash in one sense, that if we have too much of this awe and reverence mood, then we cannot fully understand the Vrindavan pastimes. Yeah, just like another pastime where this very beautifully comes into presence is the Brahma Vimohan Lila, where Lord Brahma, where he becomes bewildered, seeing Gopal standing there, and Guru Maharaj used to very beautifully depict these pastimes in his lectures. He used to say, Gopal was just standing there, and in his left hand, he had some crumbs from his picnic, that Mother Yashoda used to pack in the bags for all the gopas. And some yogurt was there in his hand, and it was dripping through his little fingers. He was not even holding it in his right hand. According to the Vedic culture, you should eat from your right hand, but he was just holding it in his left hand, and yogurt was dripping through. And some other gopas were eating next to him, and they were like, "Oh, Gopal, this is very nice. Take some from this also." So they were basically giving him their uchishta, what people have touched with their lips should never be shared with anyone senior to oneself in Vedic culture. What to speak of giving it to Bhagavan, that's beyond imagination. And so when Brahma, he sees Gopal standing there, he cannot believe that he is the Supreme Personality of God. And he becomes bewildered. And then we all know what he does. He hides all the calves and the cowherd boys in the cave and tests Krishna, whether he's really Bhagavan. Then he's even more bewildered. And finally, Krishna reveals to him that yes, he is actually Bhagavan, Purusham. So Brahma offers prayers, beautiful prayers, one of the Brahma Samhita. And in the Brahma Samhita, you have a beautiful mixture of Aishwarya and Madhurya. Both the aspects of Krishna come out very beautifully, his opulent aspects, that he is having all the potencies within him, his Supreme Lord, his Satchidananda Vigraha. And yet also, he is this beautiful coward boy playing in the forests of Vrindavan, oblivious of his being Supreme Personality of Godhead when he is deeply immersed in relishing his pastimes. So Lord Brahma is again an example of a devotee in Aishwarya Jnana, and knowledge that the Supreme Lord, our supreme object of worship, or our Ishtadev, is supposed to be Bhagavan, supposed to be the Supreme Lord. And another beautiful pastime in this regard is the gopis. When one time Krishna was hiding from the gopis, and then Krishna was running away from them, and suddenly he couldn't run so fast anymore, and he took on the form of Narayan, Chaturbhuj Narayan. There's a beautiful temple here in Vrindavan. I was speaking to this a few days ago. This beautiful four-armed Vishnu deity. So Krishna took on the form of Narayan and stood there on the road. And the gopis, they saw him and they were baffled. Narayan, what are you doing here? Did you see Krishna? By the way, we're looking for Krishna. And he was like, no. And so they just paid their pranams like this and they continued on their way. Because this is the typical beautiful pastime of Vraja-bhakti. Although they have awe and reverence and they worship Narayan, the Supreme Lord, their love for Krishna supersedes that by far. And even they know that Krishna is just their boyfriend or friend or son, still they have more love for him than for Bhagavan, Sri Narayan, which is actually very astounding if you think about it. If we would put this into our example, like I would have more love for my child, more love for my friend, or, for my beloved, then this would be you can say a lower quality of bhakti than those who have more love for Bhagavan than their related persons. But in Vraja-bhakti, this is exactly the opposite. You have so much more love for Krishna, even though you don't know that he's Bhagavan. You have so much more love for Radharani, even though you don't know that she's the goddess. So in this pastime, we see that they are not very much impressed by Chaturbhuj Narayan. Everyone else is just praying to have such a darshan, to have darshan, actual sakshat darshan of Narayan. They would die for that. But they are thinking, okay, nice, but we want to have our Krishna, we want to see our Krishna, Radharani. So this is the speciality of Vraja-bhakti in this regard. And all these opulences that we are taught in the beginning are important to understand for us to be able to surrender, because most of us are conditioned in such a way that we say unknowingly or knowingly in our mind, unless you are Bhagavan, I shall not worship you. This is like a contract many devotees have in their heads. First, they need to know he's really Bhagavan, then I will surrender. And this is still this Aishwarya my bhakti, but it is important in the beginning. That's why in the beginning we have to understand all these opulences. And it's important for us to be able to surrender, to do proper sharanagati. And then once we have surrendered, then we should be taught the sweeter aspects of bhakti and how it is possible for us to surrender even without this condition that you are Bhagavan. Because then when we understand it's even more sweet, the relationship with Krishna is not Bhagavan, if he is just our beloved, etc., then it becomes much easier for us to surrender with much more spontaneity. This is the beauty of Vraja-bhakti. It's very, very spontaneous. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has beautifully encapsulated this transition in Shastakam. If you go through the Shastakam, then you will find everywhere there is mention of Krishna in between being Bhagavan. But then when you approach the conclusion, the 8th shloka, then how is Krishna addressed suddenly? Ashlishava padaratang vinashma adarshana maramahata yata tata vadidadha tatam pata mat pranana. Krishna is no more addressed as Bhagavan. He is addressed as a devotee or a heartbreaker. So what does a heartbreaker do? He breaks your heart. He is not giving you a guarantee. Okay, you surrender to me and I will guarantee you, I will give you all kind of opulences in opulent realm, we will have this beautiful relationship, whatnot. But here in this highest unconditional approach to the Lord, this is actually Krishna in the mood of Radharani, like we were discussing in the last katha. And she is saying that, oh Lord, you may give me darshan, or you may trample my heart, break my heart by not being devotee. You're a devotee after all, but nevertheless, I will still worship you life after life. So this is a Vraja-bhakti that we have to understand that is not there in the other approaches, where we say that, oh, I know that Narayan is Bhagavan, and therefore I worship him, and therefore I will be getting all the benefits from that. But in Vraja-bhakti or Krishna bhakti in relation to Vrindavan, this conditioning is not there. Even the devotees, they take pleasure in the fact that Krishna is sometimes not reciprocated with their devotion, like Radharani is expressing. And why is that so important? Because it's the fire test of our unconditional love. Unless that love is tested in the fire test, how can we know whether it's really unconditional or not? So those who are ready for the test, they will want to get tested, and they are praying for such opportunities. It is very pleasing activity for those who are ready for that or want to become ready for that fire test. And so it's not something that is painful to them. Actually, we think in the beginning that these pastimes where Krishna is withdrawing himself from the devotees, they're very, very painful. And yes, in one sense, the pain is real, and the pain is, they of course feel that pain. But the happiness you derive from this relationship is a million times more intense than that little pain. And so this is transcendental love, when there is some short period of separation that again becomes the source of all happiness, especially because the union within separation is so sweet. After separation is also. So in Bhagavata-bhakti, we worship the Supreme Lord as the eternal Supreme Lord, who is never in Nara Lila. Nara Lila means he is enjoying human-like pastimes like Krishna and Vrindavan. So Lakshmi Narayan, you can see the typical archetype of opulent worship and bhakti. You see they are always seated in Vaikuntha, and they have huge opulent crowns, worshipping a lot of opulence and gold. And Lakshmi is always sitting at the feet of Narayan, massaging his lotus feet on reverence. Whereas in Vrindavan, the picture is that you have Krishna not aware even that he's Bhagavan because of Yoga Maya, and you also have Radharani, and she's also not aware that she's the Supreme Goddess, again because of Yoga Maya, the mystic potency of the Lord. And this is also very, very beautiful because now in Vrindavan, that very same Maya that is putting all the living entities into illusion in the material world, Mahamaya, now she is putting again all the devotees, including Radha and Krishna, into an illusion. And that illusion is that they are not the supreme God and goddess. Why is she doing that? As a seva, so that Radha and Krishna can enjoy very, very intimate pastimes with their beloved devotees. If they would always remember that their supreme God and goddess, they could not relish the Vraja-bhakti. So in one sense, Radha and Krishna, they signed an eternal contract with Purnamasi Yogamaya, that she's always making sure that they forget that they're supreme God and goddess. And this is the distinctive feature of Vraja-bhakti. And when you're sitting in Katha, you will notice the speakers, they will always, have different presentations. Sometimes they will talk about the opulences, they will speak about Krishna being the Supreme Lord, and sometimes they will again cover that with pastimes where this is not shown purposely. So even within one kata, you can see how Yogamaya is playing with the audiences, with the listeners, the speakers also. Sometimes we are in this Raja consciousness, fully immersed, not aware that Radha Krishna is the Supreme God and Goddess, and sometimes we're aware of it. So in the stage of sadhana, this is very important that we are able to switch and understand the differences when switch from one to the other. And especially when we are practicing Vraja-bhakti, that we know where to focus. Yeah? So all our energies properly streamlined to where we want to go. Because in the land of Vraja-bhakti, this Vraja-prem is most important. It should be very sweet, not full of these opulences like Lakshmi Devi, even the Supreme Goddess herself. She can't answer what to speak of us. If we are also focusing too much on the opulence and the opulent aspect of Radha and Krishna or of the Lord in general, then we will not be able to enter into the. So these different pastimes are just few examples. You can take any pastime where there's a lot of opulences, like Lakshmi Narayan pastimes or even Ramachandra pastimes, and you can compare these. The next time you hear, compare them in your heart to the sweet pastimes of Vrindavan. What is the difference? And see also with different eyes, like how does it feel for me when I see the Lord dressed in opulence with a heavy crown on his head? Or how does it feel when I see him with the beautiful peacock feather decorated bagri, beautiful turban, with the locks coming out on the sides? So what is that not just optically, but what moods in my heart does it evoke? And what do I really, really want to relish? And what do I really want to relish so that my guru is really pleased with me? Because my guru is also a Vrajavasi. Yeah? So we have to understand that in order for us to please guru, we have to match with his or her mood. Yeah. So one time Guru Maharaj spoke in Bengali. He gave a very beautiful definition of what is sadhu sangha. So he said, sadhu sangamane, sadhu chitta vrittir anugaman. He didn't say sadhu sangha is to massage the lotus feet, to preach, to collect donations, build temples, whatever. No, he said sadhu sangha is to perfectly imbibe the heart's desire of a sadhu, to grasp the heart's desire of a sadhu, and then anugaman, to follow those heart desires. That is sadhu sangha. So if you really want to please the guru, then it's very, very important to especially understand the mood of guru, the heart desire. And if your guru is a Vraja-bhakti, like in our case, then we have to understand what is Vraja-bhakti in order to please him. Like when Guru Maharaj was here in Vrindavan and we went in Parikrama, he was in bliss. He was at home. Like you could feel that now he's here, he's at home. He just wants to be with Giriraj. He just wants to be in Vrindavan, Radha. It's a complete different, realm, and different approach. So all these fine attunements are very, very crucial. In fact, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he said, I'm paraphrasing here, but it's in his beautiful book, Kriti Ratna. You can find that online also. It came out like 2 years ago. So there he mentions that even you can labor day and night for your guru with simple-hearted intent. Yeah, that's already very, very high bhakti, very high guru bhakti. You serve day and night with simple-hearted intent, with surrender. But if you have not yet grasped the heart desire of guru, you have not yet started. That's very, very, very deep, very important for us to understand. And on the other hand, even if you grasp just a little bit of the mood of guru and you're able to follow that, then you can please guru so much more even than if you do so many, many, many services externally without that. So this is what the Vraja-bhakti is all about. And especially for us, because our Guru Vargas are steeped in this beautiful, sweet mood of Vrindavan, it's so important that we understand how to please Guru and how to properly catch the moods of the Vrajavasis. So these are a few examples that we heard, and I encourage all of you to continue that meditation whenever you hear Katha. If it's from Vrindavan, if it's about Vraja Leela, then meditate on the specialities also of these. How does it set apart from other pastimes of Bhagavata-bhakti? And when you hear pastimes of other Leelas from outside Vrindavan, also see what is different and what is missing from me, what is there that I would like to relish that I cannot relish in that regard. So that helps us to become more eager, and to become more focused. So now I'm seeing many people have joined. I am concluding the Katha here to open up the round for questions. Pranam Padasamito Vaishnavi.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Nice. Said good.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Didi. Pranam.
Pranam. Very nice, Prabhu. Prabhu, I tried to, the link which you send it to us for
Yes.
the YouTube. I tried to open it, but I couldn't.
Okay, okay. I will
So
send it
can you-
again.
Yeah, can you have a look? Why couldn't I open it?
Okay. Yeah, sure. I will check it out.
Yeah, because I want to listen the Harikatha again to repeat
Okay.
it. To
Yes.
just, once Harikatha is not enough. You have to listen it 1-2 times and then you understand. So I
Yes.
don't want to, miss it. So I said, so I tried few times, but I couldn't open it.
Okay. I will have a look and I will send you again.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, please. Yes,
Okay.
please. Prabhu.
Okay, Didi.
Any questions from anybody?
Sarveshwari Didi, you're muted.
Now,
Yes.
it's all right.
Yes, now you can speak. Yes.
I say that I did try to open the link of YouTube, Mira Didi, and I could open. So, but maybe some computer, I don't know, some problems there, no? But I did try because I also wanted to listen again
Okay.
no? Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you very much. It was very nice. This to absorb this it will take me listen again and again. But last time, you, if I remember, you say that in Imlitala it was a rasa dance, and did you say that in this rasa dance was Srimati Radhika that
Left.
left the place, because you mentioned that this in Braj in there is other rasa dance that is Krishna that live. So what I was knew about the Radharani, I was reading, I don't know if it's this one that you say about Basanti Rasa, that is Radharani that left the rasa dance because there was Krishna didn't give well, not in this world, but literally didn't give attention to her, so she left. But I didn't know about the other one, that it was Krishna that left the play, the rasa. If you can just very simple, no, it's not simple, but just say something about this, clarify.
Yes. So in the Bhagavatam, for example, we have an example of Krishna also leading the gopis. And remember the entire, gopi Geet and other prayers of the gopis to Krishna are in that mood of separation after Krishna has basically left them. And there are examples of Krishna leaving the Rasa dance or the gopis being alone. And why this is emphasized in the Bhagavatam and in general in the Bhakti school in the beginning, we hear of devotees, because for us in the beginning, the gopis are a perfect example of devotion to Krishna. We take them as, devotees. And so when Krishna is in the Bhagavatam, basically it's mentioned that some of their pride is still left over. And so Krishna is doing these pastimes in order for them to be able to overcome that pride. So that, of course, is a meditation where we see the gopis as sadhakas, and we kind of identify with them in the sense that we are also sadhakas. So we should also, like the gopis, try to overcome our pride. And viraha can help us in this, etc., etc. So this is an entire different vision or darshan than the classical Vraja darshan, where you see the gopis as the perfect example of pure devotion. The Ashtasakis, they are kaya vyuha, they are very expansions of Radharani, who is course, eternally established in absolute transcendence. There's no question of sadhana. They are not sadhakas, but they're nitya siddha, eternally perfect. And in that vision, of course, you don't want to see them as sadhakas, and therefore, if you are in this, in this division where you have more inclination to Radharani than Krishna, especially like most of our acharyas are, then you always want to see how Radharani is being served by Krishna, not how Radharani is serving Krishna ultimately, because that supreme object of worship is Radharani, and you are taking pleasure when Krishna is serving Radharani. And that's why our acharyas have expressed in certain times that they give preference to these pastimes. But of course, both pastimes they have value. It's just a question of when you talk about each pastime. If you want to emphasize certain aspects of sadhana, then you can talk about these pastimes where Krishna leads the devotees. Whereas if you want to really go deeper into the core of our meditation darshana, then you would prefer to talk about these pastimes where Radharani is. But both are valid. Both are equally valuable and valid.
Prabhu, that is Panchayat Ras, what Krishna left, or what not Vasant Ras, no?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about the different aspects. I can inquire. Now this is the time of springtime, the Pansara. So they have to fast and put up.
That's it.
Hare Krishna, Sareshwari Didi. Hello.
Hare Krishna.
Didi, when you go on YouTube, where you open the link, there is a option share. Please, can you share that link with me, please?
Yeah, I send you. Yes, I will send you.
You already sent it. Thank you
No,
very
no,
much.
I didn't send you. I will send you. I didn't send you.
Okay, okay. That's
I
all
will
right.
send
Thank
you.
you very much. Whenever you have time, please send it to me. Okay?
Yeah, no problem. I will send. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so everyone else, if you have any questions or comments, this is the time where you can ask and speak.
So Prabhu, this class will be in YouTube also, no? This class
Yes,
today.
yes, correct. Yes, I will send the link again in the Skype chat.
Because things they're so nice that I have to listen a lot to get into.
Good. Yes, the Skype chat also has the link to the previous recording. I
Yeah,
put
the
it there.
previous I have. Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Mira, Didi, I send now. Can you check in WhatsApp?
All right, Didi, I will check it. Thank you very much. I appreciate.
In WhatsApp.
Yeah, I will check it. So, yeah, because I think we need to listen these Harikatha few more time and then we understand properly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Because
also,
Radharani is not so easy to understand.
yes.
Yeah.
I also used to listen to the classes that I like for 10 times or more, sometimes 20 times. And every time it goes deeper and you catch some more details. It's a very good.
Yeah, that's what my habit is, Prabhu. I was listening Amrendra Prabhu Katha once and I really like that Katha. I already listened that Katha 5 times and I want to listen more and more the same Katha.
Right, yes. This is what we should be doing, become completely addicted to Vraja-katha, Vraja-lila-katha. Then our Guru Maharaj, they will be very, very pleased with us. So, yeah, become mad for those pastimes. Probably we should spend our time. Guru Maharaj used to say that whoever is helping him in anything somehow related to Harikatha, to these devotees will be forever indebted. Because Harikatha really is our heart, it's like our prana. Especially when we talk about Vraja pastimes, Vrindavan pastimes. And of course, Gaur Leela is not different from Vrindavan pastimes in a very special way. So the beauty of having this association with the devotees so we can do katha together, hearing and chanting, remembering. And when you repeat the same katha and you have already heard it so many times, it's no more the mood of, oh, I want to know something new, but it's the mood of, let me go deeper, let me relish again, let me catch the mood, let it sink deeper into my heart, let that mellow grow, deeper. It's a different approach.
Yeah. Every time if you listen same katha, you'll get different mood, different understanding, realization will come.
Yes, Prabhu, yes, right. So any more questions or comments, dear devotees?
Not much, Prabhu.
Good. So I will upload the link to the video in Skype chat where everybody is also.
Okay.
And so those of you who want to hear it again are welcome to do so. And whenever you have any question also, you can ask me. And yeah, we'll continue the katha today in a week's time. On Saturday, I'm looking forward to it already.
Yeah.
So, dear devotees, please continue showering your blessings that we can serve here in this wonderful space of
Hari
Vraja.
Bol Prabhu, Hare
And
Krishna.
my obeisances to all of you.
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Hi, Tom.